Hello and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. I'm going to hand it off to Wolfman here to give you a nice intro. Just had to get the audio set up. Go ahead, Wolf.
Thank you, Shadow Magi. Good evening, esteemed guests, and welcome to another tournament match here. This is The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past Randomizer Crossworld Keysanity, which means it's going to be a little bit insane, but we'll do what we can to keep you relatively afloat. You ready, Jinxie girl?
Oh, I'm ready.
And, oh gosh, chat is already getting ready. I know our runners want to get ready, so while I make sure that they get their final countdown, why don't you explain what's going on?
Okay, so today we have a matchup against Maximum Barnage and Dataplet, and they are playing Keysanity. Sorry, I'm out of the practice of doing comms. Been down and out for a little bit, but really excited to see this race. These are two really great runners matched up against each other, so it should be interesting. So anyone new to the Cross Keys, what happens is we take the traditional Link to the Past, we mix up all of the entrances, all of the dungeons, all of the items, and it is our player's job to find all those items to defeat Ganon. Now, this is just a crystal challenge. So once they have the 7 crystals, they are fully able to go and defeat Ganon. So there might not be an Aga 2 play today, but we will see.
It all depends on where our entrances take us, because with Crossworld, all of our entrance holes will take us to one entrance hole or another, and here we are starting early. Dataplet with a bow, maximum Barnage with the ammunition. And, well, there's one hole knocked out. That is the Uncle hole.
That bow is a very nice start. And the thing is I calmed a race before where Link's house had the big key to Eastern, but our runners ended up getting the flute early, and one of the racers never went into Link's house. So this could be good.
Ooh. Potion shop with the library, but we don't need the item in there. But Hyrule Castle has the graveyard ledge, which means we have a free bomb farming spot.
That is an excellent thing to find early, especially when, you have some entrances that you don't want to really go check because you don't have the bombs.
Alright, the useless fairy hole today is the Mad Batter. Interesting. However, Dataplet's not going to visit the Mad Batter, at least not intentionally. What is Dataplet doing?
Looks like he's going to Houlihan, grab some cash, and probably head to Kakariko.
Certainly not a bad idea at this stage. Dataplet has the bow and arrows, but kinda needs some arrows in order to actually use it. In the meantime, Barnage is in the back of Escape and is soon going to get an Ice Rod. Ooh.
Very nice.
And now Dataplet is going to learn of the munitions cave effectively, as Barnage is now the Archer class. At least I thought he picked up the bow from Link's house, did he not?
Yeah, he got it.
Okay. Not seeing it marked. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Today, Barnage is admittedly playing with a minor handicap in that, apparently there was some minor sabotage before the match started. Nothing between the two runners, don't worry, but, Barnage may be playing mouseless today.
Have a little bit of overlap here with what our players are checking. So hopefully you'll be getting some new information rather soon.
Well, during my little explanation about pre-game shenanigans, we did find Misery Meyer early. And... Lord Xenu! Thank you for trying. What is the real difference between mice and rats anyway?
Size and tails, I think.
Fair enough. Alright.
I believe
runners-
rats are slightly more intelligent as well than mice.
Let's put a rat up against Tom then and see what happens. Old cartoon joke there that...
Great cartoon.
As long as we're not talking about the movie, then yes.
Well, looks like we're going to have some divergence. We're going to see dataplet go down and check the Lake Hylia area while Maximum Barnage heads over towards our race game. Oh, and we have a connector. Not a terrible one because we can get back out of this one to Super Bunny Cave. And we find Desert hanging out by Kakariko today.
Desert's always a good find.
Small key to Swamp.
And so is that. Swamp Palace will not be a problem for at least dataplet today. Oh, but
And the
Barnage
fire rod.
has fire. We are finding good stuff. Oh! And just as I say that, we find the flute on the torch and a big key on Lake Hylia Island. The seed giveth, and the seed maketh difficult. Alright, where are the boots?
Yeah, that flute early on is so nice in cross keys. Looks like we have another hint on dataplet's side.
Ooh, storyteller. That is a fetch quest, effectively. So, once we head to the Dark World Archery game, we'll find, hopefully, another useful hint. But in the meantime, we are now by the blacksmiths on Maximum Barnage, and...
Ganon hanging out over by the smiths. Ooh, and mini Moldorm Cave on dataplet's side.
And King's Tomb at the blacksmiths. Alright, we've certainly got some options here. But I'm curious about these 5 items that dataplet's about to get. What will he see? Health, sword, money, map to thieves, and a small key to Turtle Rock. In the meantime, Barnage has found... I want to say that is the Fairy Mountain Connector Cave. And that's Ice Palace.
It looks like Barnage might have his mouse back, so hopefully he's going to be able to do some tracking.
Alright, 3 dungeons found so far. Not bad, not bad. Ooh, Death Cave.
Hera with our red cane today.
And Eastern's Vanilla.
You know, we do have that fire rod, and early Ice Palace play might be required as we find Hookshot Cave hanging out in Kakariko Village.
I mean, you do bring up a good point. We are... Ooh, more storytellers. Any good? Ooh.
That's
Misery
actually a
Meyer's-
pretty good hint there.
Yeah, if we could at least connect leaving the Misery Mire, we have access to the Haunted Wasteland.
Yeah, that could be a really nice connector.
Now, in the meantime, oh!
Think we're... Nope. I thought we were going to get that early dip just to see what that first chest was.
So was I, Jinxie. So was I. I think Barnage is thinking, may as well check the rest of these first. Ooh, we did find a Sanctuary Bunk Rocks. Oh, excellent find. We want blue mail before entering ice.
Oh yeah, definitely a nice find on 3 hearts. So often that Ice Palace dip is required in these cross keys and the Beckett Desert.
Alright, 3 chests open in Eastern so far. And... well, that's 1 chest dead in GT. And, ew, there's a connector we can't go into yet. That's Bumper Cave.
Ooh, and Useless Fairy. That means there's probably going to be an item behind Aga 2 and Aga 1. At least.
Yeah, there are 3 holes left. We are going to have something guarded. The question is how much of it is going to be guarded.
They could get lucky and have Uncle hanging out back at Lumberjack, unless we saw Uncle already. I don't think we did, though.
We did find the Spectacle Rock item cave, which, well, 20 rupees. This early we won't complain, but that hint tile, hopefully it's good. Both cane and bottle with mold orb and big key to the alternate version. Oh.
I'm coming. You have to go.
No, Mom, I gotta tell you something.
What?
On TV, this guy named Multiplier, he has a Zelda shirt on, and he's playing Fruit Ninja VR.
Okay.
It's a Zelda shirt.
That Spectacle Rock connector could be important to us, too.
That is true, and shout outs to the, I guess our 3rd commentator for the evening.
Sorry about that.
It's fine, it's fine. And, ooh, Spike Cave at the Northern Fortune Teller, but I think dataplet has found the Old Man Cave. Maybe. And, okay, Lost Woods has Uncle, so that's 2 checks we can knock out of the way. And... I don't know which connector dataplet entered, but it works.
Yeah, it was one of the dark caves.
Yep. And in the meantime, Uncle had the big key to Misery Mire, so give me a moment to attempt to mark this correctly, because I forget which specific cave it was at. Oh, well, there's the other end of Bumper.
Not a terrible connector.
Yeah, once we get the cape, it'll help, and... Barnage just found the top half of the Spectacle Rock lookout. Probably don't need to worry about that right now. In the meantime, dataplet has found Venus. Venus? You okay?
Yeah, that's a really nice... Ooh, Magic Well is behind Aga 1.
Ugh, that's not very well. Now, 300 rupees does kinda sorta make up for it, but... oof. So at this point, I think Barnage does want to see where that third entrance, or in this case, the technical one-way exit to Spectacle Rock leads.
I like this play. I like knowing my connectors. If I've checked all of Kakariko, I'm gonna check the connectors just to see where they take me.
The reason I'm unsure about this play right now is technically there was one more area Barnage could have checked. And, oh,
To another connector.
actually that's a good connector. That is the other end of the Fairy Mountain connector. So it depends on this one right here. Never mind. The Fairy Mountain connector, in this case, goes back to my old name of Pointless.
Just like the race game.
That's certainly one way of putting it. So, at this point, we do have to remember one thing. That path to the Dark World, right now, is technically out of logic, because we are supposed to have the lantern available for that. So, progression is somewhere else in the Light World right now. We don't know where yet, but we have a number of entrances left to check.
Ooh,
Or it could
the pegs just lead to a ferry today.
Or it could be an ice palace, but we haven't seen either runner go in yet. So the big question here, out of what's left, Ice Rod Cave, the abominable part of Ice Rod Cave, Mini Moldorm, Reservoir, Cave Outside Desert, and Agina's Cave.
Yeah, we also have the connector to the back of Hookshot Cave. That could very well take us up to Death Mountain.
You are correct, I did forget about that. Alright, Barnage is soon about to learn the ways of the sword. Just have to take out some mini Moldorms. Okay, that mini Moldorm really wanted Barnage.
Yeah, they can be a little brutal.
Such is the nature of things at times. Alright, right now our runners are retracing their steps. So I'm going to use this time to explain how our runners got to where they are in this tournament right now. So Maximum Barnage managed to win a match against Ultima, but then took a defeat against Korek. From there, well, this is where Barnage is right now, up against dataplet. dataplet, meanwhile, was sent to... Hold on, I'm looking at this backwards. dataplet won against Dr. Bobtastic, took a defeat against Goomba, and then took out Gus to make it to this point.
Yeah, they've definitely put in a lot of time and fought some really good races.
Now, chat is bringing up what may be a possible idea. So, as we've learned throughout many cross-key matches, logic is whatever the runners make it out to be, as long as they're not doing any overworld glitches or stuff like that. So, one possible sequence break that I don't see runners do much is they have access to the back of Desert Palace and the right side of Desert Palace, which means they also have access to two other connectors that we eventually need to see. They could theoretically steal a key from the back, bring it to the front, but that's, again, technically out of sequence. And apparently that's one type of sequence that not a lot of runners like to make. Now, okay, Lord Xenu did bring up a fair point. Save scumming, otherwise known as saving before entering a place, spending keys, and resetting if it doesn't go well, it's technically a valid strategy in this tournament format. As dataplet now also has the big key to Misery Mire. Oh no! Barnage didn't notice his health! While there wasn't anything important in that chest, that's kind of unfortunate.
I think it was the pod big key.
Oh, you're right. No, that was important. Crap, I was mixing up my key counts. I thought that was the small key to Turtle Rock for a moment. Oh boy, that's going to sting a little bit because Barnage is not going to be back there for a bit.
Barnage about to find that connector to the dark world?
The tricky part with this connector, if it's what I think it is, there are some holes nearby which may make it tricky. It's not one that you can just straight up dash through. Well, if we could dash anyway. But in this case, Barnage survives.
Needs to be careful here. We're down to 1 heart, and these Dark World enemies do some significant damage.
Agreed. And, Barnage realizes, no need to be here. Alright, where did Spectacle Rock dump us? Oh, yeah, right, there. Which means dataplet is soon going to learn this is going to be a pointless adventure. So in the meantime, Barnage is now heading to the southern shore, while... Oh, okay, dataplet is taking the connector back to Kakariko.
Yeah, that's kind of tough having 2 connectors that lead pretty much to the same place. You kind of want connectors to take you all around the world, unfortunately. Oh, we find the dam on Barnage's side.
Alright, that means we can unleash the floodgates and get another item. Well, in the meantime, dataplet is now entering Desert and will soon get that fire rod.
I don't know. I just have a feeling that Moon Pearl is going to be early ice.
And dataplet now learns the bad news. Boots may be required. Also, 300 rupees drained, and ooh, Ganon's tower kind of early.
It's a really nice find, especially we know where that Kana Samari is. We just gotta find a couple. Oh, and there's the Moon Pearl. Never mind.
And we're at the top of Bumper Cave with Left Side Desert. And, well, we don't have to worry about the torch item today. Bob will live.
Now that desert connector is a pretty nice location to throw you out into the dark world up by Kakariko.
Well, Village of Outcasts, technically, but yes.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay, I understood what was meant. Alright, where does the front of Desert lead?
Oh, very
Oh.
nice.
That is 2 entrances where having the mirror will eventually help, but hey, I just saw Hyrule Castle at the desert spot. And that was left side entrance. In the meantime, ooh. Oh, Ice Rod Cave, the good side, but dataplet doesn't have the Moon Pearl. And other side is another dark connector.
Wow, it looks like he's going for it.
Since I didn't hear a drop, this is likely, yeah, it's the Elder Cave. Which means we are going to now learn about, well, where we're going to be dropped off in the end.
Interesting connector.
Well, if we didn't want to go through desert, we have another way to head back to Village of Outcasts, so hard to complain too much.
So far, not much to write home about in Hyrule Castle.
I kind of have to agree.
That does give us 2 more connectors.
That is, if Barnage remembers to check them. And, oh... Okay, Barnage did get damaged enough to only need 1 bomb for... Oh, and gets a refill. How fortunate.
Oh, and there is Pod hanging out in the Dark Lumberjack hut.
And here's where another little sequence break can come into play. That damage the dataplet is taking is intentional. This is going to be what some call a death revival, which basically allows you to maintain your normal form. As long as you stay in this dungeon, anyway. And in the meantime, Barnage is going through his own sequence break, going into the Dark Cross portion of the escape in order to get 1 chest.
It's Makita GT and our first chest in Pod.
Which means that's all we're getting out of there.
Well, we do have the bow.
You are right, that is 2 more checks, but dataplet says no. And Piece of Heart in the Dark Cross, that's all she wrote treasure-wise. And it looks like Barnage wants to explore Agina's cave before heading back to the castle. Meantime... Ooh, fortunate fairy fountain find for dataplet, as Swamp Palace is in the desert today.
Kind of an odd place to find water.
Oases. Not necessarily odd, just, rare. Alright, new locations for both runners. Oh,
Oh,
Turtle Rock Laser Bridge there, and... Oh, Misery Myron Pod, Pyramid Crystals. Sorry, we have a lot of information coming in fast right now. Bomb Shop was up there, along with Hyrule Castle, and there's Pyramid of Power, and there's a Power Glove!
wow, nice.
Now, dataplet is performing a sequence break in order to get these 4 checks, while, oh my gosh, the mountain with Thieves Town as well. And wow, that's a rude placement for that big key of Eastern, but we'll take it. Now, I had missed what Barnage just got in that second chest of Thieves Town. Did you catch it?
Not yet, but I'll get it in a second. There's the magic powder.
Ooh, that may prove useful.
And the red meringue.
That may prove not as useful.
It is nice to have a stun item, though, early on.
That is true. And, sorry, dataplet, without the Moon Pearl, you are restricted to one more entrance that we haven't seen yet. The archery game. This leads to a storyteller, if I remember the hint right, and this confirms it. We can still interact with the storyteller without the Moon Pearl. Will this be good? Yes! We need to go back to Pod. Alright, so paying for the hint was worthwhile. And,
Hyrule taking us to the top of Spiral Cave.
well, in that case, 2 of the entrances are kind of redundant.
Yeah, we've had a couple of those so far. And Dataplat about to find his Moon Pearl.
With
Barnage
glove in
wasting
hand?
no time checking those glove lock locations, and we found Mimic Cave.
Yep. And in the meantime, dataplet now has the orb and attempts to burn its sacred pedestal. I mean, dataplet, I know GDQ had ended a few weeks ago, but that doesn't mean you have to destroy that.
Looks like we're going to get a check on the ice rod location, which is really nice because it's kind of out of the way. And with that mitt, we don't have to orphan that location.
That is true. We can knock 3 checks out of the way right here and now, and then hope to eventually get the other 3 checks in the Dark World through a lucky connector.
Yeah, hopefully once Barnage picks up that Eastern Palace big key, he's going to be more tempted to go head back and finish out Eastern. So at least that was kind of early.
And hey, that's useful. We don't need the big chest in Ice Palace. And oh, alert, intruder. That is the laser security wall in Turtle Rock. Now, ideally, we would also like to find the treasure chest entrance of Turtle Rock, but we may not be so fortunate. And, oh, Barnage is now a bunny and not the best time for it.
He does have that powder.
True. May have to utilize it. Alright, lava chest. Red ruby. Alright, so this means Barnage's last item in Turtle Rock is likely going to be the Chain Chomp room, assuming a successful heist.
Oh no.
Chain Chomps are trying to be Scruff McGruff, taking a bite out of crime or grime or whatever ugly stuff is on Link's tunic. There you go. Back to start. And dataplet also deciding to sequence break a little bit. But it's just going to be a piece of heart in the Dark Cross if I saw correctly, so not much here. And oh, Barnage fell out of alignment. Has to hurry. Ouch! The map of Turtle Rock. In Turtle Rock. That's not exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah, definitely not, especially when you took a death to it too.
Oh! I think Barnage has found the Old Man Tunnel. Light World Death Mountain is now available. Now, again, this is technically a sequence break, but again, I don't think our runners care. Still, this does put into perspective, where exactly is our, lantern located? We don't know. We're probably not gonna find out for a bit. In the meantime, enjoy your piece of heart and your 2 additional entrances. As dataplet now has access to the Power Glove. And, apparently Agina chose to move up to the mountain today. Well, in this case, getting 3 bombs for 1, we'll take a freebie. Alright, back of the old man's cave is C-shaped house. With more bombs. There are only 4 entrances left in Westside Death Mountain right now. Will they be useful? Well, that one sure isn't.
Nice thing is that Barnage now has that save and quit spot into the dark world in that specialty shop location.
That is true. And wait, Chad, I didn't realize there was a race to the... Oh, gosh, you seriously have to reference that game? If you want to know what game I am talking about, please check out the enclosed instruction readme.
Oh, and another T-Rock entrance. Unfortunately, not one we can really mess with at the moment. A fancy bomb jump will get you there, but no big key. Oh, there's Hera.
Oh, okay, Hera is a very good place to find right now. We know somewhere in here is the Cane of Samaria. But we are kinda short on checks to find it right now. Please be there. Yeah!
Nice.
That's a lot.
Looks like he may be heading back into T-Rock here.
We don't have the big key yet, so there aren't really any other checks, but we do have access to the dark
the dark
world.
checks. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. It's been a few days for me.
No, it's a very valid thought. It's just we don't have the correct keys.
Although you could get to the Crystal Roller Room. Oh, and there's Hype Cave.
Crystal Roller Room requires the big key. You couldn't. And
Oh, I thought
oh, there's the small key to Tower of Hera where we just left. And also a key to Skull Woods, and there's our first proper bottle. We haven't found Sick Kid yet. But hopefully we do soon enough. And yes, Big J's, finding the key to a dungeon, after you're technically kind of past the point, there are feelings with that.
And only 20 bucks in Cave 45 hiding out on the Dark Death Mountain today.
And Barnage is now exploring the Dark World using the connector. Not a bad idea. While, ooh, dataplet wants to check out the back of Hookshot Cave. We haven't seen this yet from either runner.
I believe they have a GT small key, so with that Cane of Samaria, that opens up more GT for maximum Barnage.
Oh boy, that's the Dark Mimic Ledge that we just found for Hookshot Cave. And that's Paradox!
Wow! Nice find.
Indeed, 7 items and 2 more entrances. Speaking of entrance, just below Bumper Cave, there's Agate Tower. Still, one free chest here, why not? That's why not. Paradox with small key to Turtle Rock. Ooh, red mail, nice. And that's it.
Not much else to write home about. Barnage about to find Pod, which we do know that Hookshot is in here. Andy has the bow, so that's 2 extra checks that we might get that dataplet didn't do.
I just realized we're 43 minutes in. We do not have a pod key, and ouch! One of the paradox entrances is GT, not GT, yeah, GT, Ganon's Tower. Wow. I was getting my words mixed up for a moment, but that is a seriously rude spot. Only other entrance right now is the normal Hookshot Cave entrance, but it's just fairies, so... looks... Come on, dataplet, at least check the medallion.
Or the, the ice rock cave was down here too.
And... Oh, back of Skullwoods is the front of Turtle Rock today. Ooh. I mean, both of our runners have fire rods, so they do exit to it. It's just... ouch.
Barnage still has to find that back of T-Rock so that he can get that Eastern Palace big key that'll hopefully lead him back to that dark room with that pod big key. And another small to Ganon's Tower.
That's all we can get out of pod right now. That means we need either 1, 4, or 6 keys in order to get that hook shot by logic. Yeah, exactly, Big J's. Thought I commented on it a little earlier, but it may have been missed. We have access to the pod big key, but not the small. Or the smalls, I should say. So this is certainly going to be an interesting match, that's for sure.
Looks like we're going to get a Skullwoods check here on Maximum Barnage's side.
Certainly not a bad idea. The front portion of Skullwoods is shuffled amongst itself, so we have full access to everything in this regard. Now, whether it's stuff we want, that's another story entirely.
Bugnet.
I will certainly not object to a bug net, though.
Oh, it doesn't look like Skullwoods is going to cooperate today.
Oh, we need a hole in order to get into Turtle Rock. Not that one, though. Actually, that one could theoretically work.
Barnage is able to get those first 3 chests in Turtle Rock, though, so it could be good.
That is true. And, right, we can also just spend the key here in order to get the remaining front items with the exception of the big chest.
Oh, and a sword upgrade.
Certainly worthwhile to pick that up.
Yeah, and it's not quite as bad having Skullwoods kind of be a dead end at this point because we do have that convenient save and quit to the old man. Well, it looks like Thieves Town is our green pendant today, and Ice Palace is also a crystal.
Well, guess we don't need to speak to Sahasrara then. And there we are, main entrance to Turtle Rock. And Oh, powder leads to another bottle. So that's 3 bottles known.
I think that referenced the hype cave because we did get a bottle there. It said a bat-like man.
Oh, I thought it was talking about magic powder actually, because in hype cave that looks more rabbit to me.
I think Amphros said that it was hype cave once.
Alright, I don't know if I necessarily agree with how the character looks, but we'll go with it. In this case, 2 bottles known.
Yeah, that hint threw me off once before.
So then does that mean the, the cave where you use the powder is the man-like bat?
I think it just says magic bat for that one.
Not as fun then.
There's our small.
Yep, and another B to GT. So yeah, there you go, 49 minutes in, and we finally have a small ketapod. Don't know if that's exactly worth celebrating, though.
Oh, I think we might be getting that GT play from Barnage.
Oh, Barnage, I think, is heading to Hyrule Castle.
Yep.
Never mind, now heading to GT. And it did make sense, so... That's just how things go. And, yep, there's that hint again that threw me off. Alright, we're actually going to see Tile Room in action. No cape to avoid anything. No wall-hugging strategies this time. Instead, we must embrace the air.
Unfortunately, Data doesn't have that Kana Samaria yet, so he is going to miss out on that pod key.
And I think, okay. I mean, sometimes our runners need a few extra seconds to figure out where to go, so a little pause isn't bad, and hey, we found a unique item in Tile Room, so we'll take it, I guess.
Barnage has to be really careful here. He's very low life, but he does have blue mail at least, and the Master Sword, so that's helpful.
Blue life doesn't matter to the hazards, they will always take 1 heart of damage. Alright, we are through. Small shield, 20 rupees, 20 more rupees, and our second key to pod. And Barnage feels like attempting to go to Ice Armos. Oh boy, but this is dangerous. It is very hard to get through that room unscathed.
As long as he can make it to Bob, he can refill his magic. He does have that powder.
Here's the thing, though. It has to be done the intended way, by lighting the torch with fire. and then getting through the path long enough. And I think Barnage only has enough for one shot. So unless Barnage has memorized the path...
And it looks like he has. Nice.
Alright, kudos.
That was
Alright.
slick.
Bob's chest, what do you have? Oh, we'll find out soon. Apparently Bob escaped. I'm not used to seeing Bob in the lower left. Oh, and there you go. Bob has been collected. Alright. Master Sword against the 6 Ice Armos.
He does have the bow.
That is true. But apparently wants to save the ammunition. And dataplet had unknowingly discovered the Death Mountain Ascent Cave, but isn't going in yet. And yeah, Barnage just wants to cheese the Armos Knights. It works. 3 more chests for the taking.
Although it is pretty easy to forget that you have the bow. There's the flippers.
Oh, Ice Armos required for Swamp. Ouch. At least we don't have to worry about that big chest. We already know it's useless, but still. So let's see. Based off of what we know, we have access to the first 2 chests in Swamp Palace. Question is, do you take care of them now? Barnage is thinking maybe.
I mean, it's relatively close, and we are in need of so many items. I definitely think it's a decent play.
That is fair, but after this, I suspect a trip into the Dark World will be in order.
Interesting.
Oh.
The floating island has our big key to GT.
The Death Mountain floating island or the Lake Hylia floating island? I thought it just said an island.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh. Oh. Well, if we don't feel like bomb jumping Ice Palace, there's your big key. Now we know the chest of Ice Palace is pointless, but certainly won't argue with those results. Alright, dataplet is close to Hera at this point, so hopefully we see a Kana Samaria pick up soon.
I'm gonna get to see what that magic bat has today.
Well, we know it's unlikely to be a bottle.
Oh, he just had enough magic, too. Just 10 arrows.
Dang. I wanted it to be a bottle. Guess it wasn't meant to be. Well, we know this is a safe hole to go into. The question is, which one? Lumberjack or the well?
Well, the well is behind Aga 1, so this has got to be Lumberjack.
Oh, you're right. But wait, but then what's in the pyramid?
Lost Woods Thief.
Ooh. Neither is really good, but still. A question from Mr. Bus Driver. What are the odds that Mr. Zor will have a real item? I have not kept up with all the different items that have been found yet, but... unofficially, I'll say 35% chance.
I feel like he's definitely going to have something just because we have so few items and we've checked so many locations so far. And we find the blacksmiths. And we have found a significant amount of item locations so far. So I'm hoping that these flippers kind of lead us to something good.
Well, again, with the flippers, we have access to a number of spots, but the ones in the light world were running kinda dry. Basically, the areas that Maximum Barnage is heading to, where we're going to visit the bird lover under the bridge, Venus's old home, Waterfall of Wishing, and Zora's Domain, that's basically it for light world checks. Alright, fortunately Dataplet did pick up the cane, so that will help for later. And, well, in this case, the bird lover literally gave us the love part of his name. So, fair question from Recitador. Hype Cave entrance, I haven't seen checked yet. Digging and Stumpy is possible. Ooh, there's back of Skull Woods. Back of Skull Woods on the island.
Barnage did do Hype Cave. Or you mean where Hype Cave location? I don't believe he's checked that yet.
Yeah, Hype Cave location we're talking about, and oh, there is a small key to ice. Recitador, you're going to have to clear up what you mean by clearing a VU here. And also, actually, I think Lord Zeno is right. Let me double check something. Yeah, we've actually found all of the dungeons. So, regarding if a Village of Outcasts was cleared, that answer is no. I haven't seen anyone pull the gargoyle statue yet. But, yeah, since we've actually found all the entrances to the dungeons, we may not need to stress much about the other locations unless we're extremely hurting for keys and items. So, we have that going for us, at least. Not bad for the 1 hour mark. In the meantime, Barnage is fighting Mothula right now. Excuse me, Barnage was fighting Mothula.
Half magic, that's pretty nice, and a crystal.
The only item left in Skull Woods is the big chest, and we do not know its contents yet, and... Oh, dataplet, I hope lighting those torches... Okay, I was a little bit concerned with how the order they were lit. Alright, the remaining entrances may not matter as much, but let's see what we've got. Oh, fortune teller.
We still haven't found Blind's hut yet. That's a significant amount of items.
You are right. 5 items up for taking.
Sahashalis hut too, so there's nothing on our Zora ledge today. But let's see if the big fish has anything good.
Ooh, chat's already hoping that boots are located on King Zora.
Wow, just $20. Game is being very, very stingy with items today.
Yeah, stingy's a good word for it. We are still missing the hammer, lantern by logic, hook shot by definite logic, and I guess by technical logic, the cape.
I still think Ice Palace is going to have something. Giving us that fire rod so early, I think there's going to be something in the front half.
That is true. Also, we are missing a whole bunch of keys. We know where all the dungeons are, but not where all the keys for the locks are this time. I'm used to calling cross-key matches where we're struggling to find entrances. Here, it's kind of the opposite. We have the entrances we need, we just don't know how to get through them entirely.
Yeah, at least with Maximum Barnage, having those flippers, he has access to the Dark Pod area as well.
And now we finally break open the gargoyle statue. And it's a shop. But look at Barnage, 2 keys on hand. We're gonna make something happen. Checking out the basement chest first.
For Tempered.
That's definitely worth spending a key. And oh, dataplet choosing to sequence break even farther into Turtle Rock. Just for the single roller chest. Not worth it though.
Oh, unfortunately, Barnage doesn't have that big key, so we're not going to get to see what's in that big chest.
We would also need a small key by logic to get in there anyway. But again, logic means nothing in this context. Hey, there's another bottle. And there's chest game hiding in the brewery. Little soon there, dataplet. No rushing. And wow, pod key inside of pod. Well, Barnage, this gives you some options. What are you going with? The Hammer Yum. Ooh. Do you think you could explain this one, Jinxie?
Well, this is a bomb jump where you have to have 2 pixel perfect stances. Once to lay down your bomb, and the next one you have to position yourself just perfectly so the bomb actually blows you across the hole, through the rail, and over to the big chest. There is our hook shot.
Oh, worth. It may be a sequence break, but it's a worthwhile sequence break. And Stumpy has our final small key to Ganon's Tower.
And it looks like Quake as well in pod today.
Alright, so we have gone slightly over the hour mark. This is your friendly reminder to please follow our runners, Maximum Barnage and dataplet, along with our trekkers, Nori, Nato, Bleeding Blue, and Cubs Rule. And don't forget about my commentary partner, Jinxie Girl, maybe me, Wolfman2000, if you kind of feel like hearing a slight smart aleck in this sort of context. I don't know. Alright, dataplet with keys in hand will hopefully get to those flippers behind the ice armos.
And Maximum Barnage about to grab his Eastern big key.
Now, Barnet, again, these 4 chests, which include the Eastern Palace Big Key, these are sequence breaks as well. Because we don't have a proper way to give ourselves invulnerability. So right now, this seed is full of sequence breaking.
Yeah, those are logical spots. And now that, well, probably both runners soon will have those flippers, then we have the whole pod area to check as well.
Now, don't forget that Misery Mire itself is a connector. We did get a hint about that. Alright. Dataplet trying to figure out how to get through this nasty room. And there you go, with only minor scuffle.
Yeah, Recitador, I wouldn't be surprised if boots were what was in Ice Palace. I know I keep harping on it, but I feel very strongly that there is something significant in Ice Palace.
And question from Lord Xenu. Has anyone checked the lower Death Mountain entrance? Yes, that is where the Smiths are located today. As, I think Barnage found that hint a little too late. And alright, Dataplet going for the bomb jump to get across this maze. Looks like a good position. Nice.
Just a hard piece from the game.
And in this case, Dataplet is using that bow. Ooh, but potentially off sync. Yep, the color changing almost regained the health, and so a few arrows were wasted. But hey, we can swim now. Alright, chat was earlier asking about the Hype Cave connector. I did not see Maximum Barnage go through it, instead going to head through... passing up on, not exactly Venus. So instead, we're gonna take a dive.
Yeah, it could be an easy one to forget. Again, Maximum Barnage has lost his use of his mouse, so he is unable to mark his tracker, so he might not realize that he hasn't checked it yet. And TR our blue pendant today.
Well, that's certainly interesting knowledge. We've been given an early fire and ice rod. We're just missing a big key. And, oh, speaking of big key, guess who has a big key and is back in Eastern? While Maximum Barnage is in the Dark World shopping mall. And so far it's just found abandoned store, and fortune teller. May as well be abandoned. Hey, it's just like one of the malls literally about 10 miles away from me. It's like barely any shops left. But now we have access to the Eastern Dark World. As rude game.
And we find the Quarreling Brothers connector. Oof.
Well, I mean, once we get to the mirror, we can explore 2 more caves, sure. But not exactly what we're looking for. Let's head to the monkey hut instead. Alright. Barnage inside the Dark 5 cave. Fairy fountain.
Where in the world are all of our items? We do have Hookshot Cave now on Maximum Barnage's side.
That is true. 4 chests are available. The dataplet is hoping these Armos Knights have something. And look at that! Big key of desert.
Very nice. 2 big keys in Eastern today. And
So
it's a crystal.
Yep, so at the very least, that's 2 more checks we can make in desert right now, within logic. Again, earlier, some folks in chat were speculating maybe just steal the small key, make it 3 checks instead. Oh, Kiki guarding Blind's Hut, come on! This better be worth it. This better be worth it. Lantern! We're back in some form of logic. Small key to thieves, even better. Big key to thieves! Alright, this
Wow.
is more like it.
So there is definitely has to be something in ice with that lamp being over there in Blind's Hut.
Well, at least we've solved part of the puzzle. So then the question is... what's next? I think Barnage is going to head to... Yep, no. Barnage is heading back to Eastern and is soon going to pick up that pod key.
Hopefully.
Barnage has the lantern now. It should be good. Admittedly, there are a number of choices our runners could make right now. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what our runners decide.
The thing
But
working in both of their favors, though, is that neither one of them have made the check to Ice Palace. So if there is something really significant there, it's really not going to change the race drastically, because even though it was available early, neither one of them did it.
That is true. Could Ice Palace have been the answer for us this entire time? Who knows?
Yeah, I feel like it's Boots and Ice that would have led to the flute, which could have given them access to Death Mountain.
In the meantime, dataplet is heading back into pod right now. So, again, if dataplet knows of the hammer yump, we will soon have a hook shot for a second player. Now, dataplet does have one other advantage, the big key to pod. So we will see what's in that big chest again if dataplet can hammer yump successfully.
I mean, even if he can't, he is going to pick up another pod small key. So, I mean, he could still check it even if he can't do the hammer jump.
As long as that key is used for the dark maze and not the harmless hallway. Pod key logic is a complicated thing. Recedador, we know that dataplet has the big key. We're talking about the small key here. Alright, Armos Knights go down for Barnage. And another crystal is in the books. So where is Barnage going to head to next? And yep. So, Cater, technically we are still out of logic, because we are technically still missing one other item. It's a little complicated right now. I'm going to paraphrase Recedador here. Lamp is out of logic since the Cane of Samaria is on Death Mountain. And the cane happens to lock the flippers in Ganon's tower. The flippers leads to the lamp.
I think this is it. Although he might be checking Hookshot Cave first. But I think he might make that ice play.
I would
Which I'm
check
dying to
I would check Hookshot Cave first. Dataplet now has the hook shot. And Maxim Barnage is going to use the hook shot. Piece of heart. 20 rupees. Oh, that is a rude, big chest reward. But, Dataplet is a different type of winner today.
Yeah, I do too, Lord Xenu. I know some racers don't use trackers, but when you're really used to using one and you kind of rely on it when it's like taken away from you, you're really handicapped. And I know I definitely feel for Maximum Barnage today.
And Barnage is deciding to just clear desert and not do some small key shenanigans. So it is time for a Landmo fight. With half magic, easy to get 2 shots on per worm, and there you go. 1 cycle success.
And that's our last pendant.
Well, I can't exactly say I was expecting that, but okay. So, let's speculate a little bit. Our pendants today are Desert, Thieves Town, and Turtle Rock. Question to the audience, because I genuinely don't know. Can the hammer be on the pedestal?
I mean, I guess it could, even though Thieves Town is a pendant.
I can't tell if I'm seeing disagreements in chat there.
I'm just salty that both runners are refusing to go to Ice Palace.
And Jopo, this is a shuffle entrance type of mode. This is Crossworld Keysanity. All entrances are shuffled, and it is entirely possible to find a connector cave that takes you from Light World to Dark World, or vice versa. Now, Barnage is deciding to hit up Mire instead. We do have the big key, so... Actually, this isn't out of logic. It is entirely possible to full clear Mire right now.
But the hook shot and the lamp are still out of logic.
True, but hey, book on Pyramid Ledge. I had missed that. And apparently I missed what was in the Dark World Potion shop, but I'm guessing Dataplet spawned from there at some point.
Yeah, he didn't go in it.
Oh, he didn't?
Not that I saw. I mean, he might have earlier, and I just missed it.
Okay, then that means I missed it too. And
There's our small key to desert.
on the spikes, rude! I think I've been calling this seed rude a number of times. I need to come up with better words here. No, Big J's. That just doesn't sound like me. Ten arrows. Okay, that's actually kind of normal, so... Well, looks like we're gonna have some, waiting in our future. As dataplet is now about to receive the Thieves Town care package.
What's nice is we can finish Misery Mire, not have to worry about coming back.
That is true, but we have to remember that we're technically still out of logic in order to finish this place because of where everything has been right now. Normally I'm able to keep up with how the logic goes, but in this case I'm having to rely on chat to point out when we find what we're missing. Which in this case is likely either hammer or flute. Maybe, which in that case, hammer or boots, really.
Yeah, because that flute is on the torch at desert.
Or mirror. Well, it's not in Mire. Or at least not in the big key chest.
Yeah, at this point, I would almost bet that boots are sitting in Ice Palace. Or like the shovel that leads to the boots.
Who knows what'll happen. But... Ooh, one more check left for Barnage before we have to consider Vitreous. And... ouch! Small key to the castle tower. And for those that happen to forget where Aga Tower is today, that is Bumper Cave entrance.
Ooh, I just had a gross thought. Okay, hear me out.
Go for it.
Boots and Ice Palace, which is going to give us our flute, which that doesn't matter. The second castle tower key to kill Aga 1 to get to the well to get the hammer and possibly the mirror.
Someone who hopefully has a better idea than that, Hamsta, thank you for continuing your support to the Zelda Speedruns family. I don't know what's worse, hammer on Ped or hammer in Aga 1 locked well.
Ooh, Mr. Bus Driver is more evil than I am.
Alright, once we narrow things down a little bit more, we may have a fun little competition, but we're not at last item or last key go mode check yet, so feel free to speculate more freely.
Well, at least dataplet could give us that information if he would choose to do a ped check because he did pick up that book on Pyramid.
That is true. And, ooh, Barnage going for the goop strategy. Gets hit by the eyes. That makes it tricky, so, bomb strategy now. And dataplet also thinking of just knocking Meyer out. Has less hearts, but better mail protection. And with that, Vitreous is down. All for a small key to Meyer. Ouch. This game be angry. I don't know. And chat is just begging our runners to go to Ice Palace.
I think Barnage is going to go to Thieves Town. I think that's exactly where he said it.
Yeah. We have access to 3 more items. Though, admittedly, it is a pendant. But, at the same time, this would make 2 pendants. But, here's the thing. We don't have access to the final pendant yet. We are still missing a big key to Turtle Rock. But as far as required big keys go, we are just missing Hera for sure. The other big keys are potentially required, but it's unknown at this point. Regarding small key counts, ideally we need at least two more small keys to pod, but likely the remaining 3. And that should be enough. Worst case, we need the second Ice Palace small key.
Or the second Castle Tower small key.
I mean, if we want to be, sadistic, Jinxie girl.
Well, I mean, at this point, we're running out of item locations. I think there's only like a handful of item caves that we haven't found yet. The 2 Dark World are Bombable Hut and Meyer Shed. And then for Light World, the only ones I don't have marked are Chicken Hut, Checkerboard Cave, Sahasha's Hut, Library, and Spiral Cave. Which I believe we found the library, though, and it wasn't anything.
Yeah, library was at Potion Shop. Blacksmiths were located, base of Death Mountain. And what were the other ones you said?
Sahasha's Hut, Checkerboard Cave, Chicken Hut, Bomb Hut, and Meyer Shed.
We haven't found the rest of those, you're right. Aga 2, aka the Pyramid, houses the Lost Woods hideout today. Also, I completely missed what item we got in the Thieves Town sunroof, but chat isn't reacting, so I'm assuming nothing important.
I think it was a bottle. I could be wrong. Oh, a compass. Okay.
And Heart Container and Blind Cell. Again, we can only get 1 more item because we are missing a hammer. And that is correct. I saw no one check the Turtle Rock medallion, even though we have access to see the medallion.
You asked me, I said yes.
And so now, Blind's pun of the day. Rental agents offer quarters for dollars. Yuck, yuck, yeah, okay, I can't even do that one with a straight face. Alright, Blind is down. And we have him mapped to Ganon's tower.
And no Sahashala to turn that pendant into.
And again, without the Turtle Rock Big Key, we have no way to turn it into the pedestal either.
I really feel like they are avoiding Ice Palace to spite me at this point.
What, you think they actually look at who commentates ahead of time?
No, I just feel like because I'm mentally willing them to go there, that their subconscious is not letting them. Gonna get that
Fair enough.
second Aga Tower check here.
Well, we do have access to the back chest. And since we have the lantern, it does make sense. So, what is it?
Big key to swamp.
I mean, the big key to swamp right now is not going to help because we don't have the hammer. Alright, dataplet has received the unfortunate reward from Vitreous, but hey, Pyramid Crystal is still nothing to scoff at.
Looks like we're getting a grumpy fish check over on Barnage's side, which we know that's nothing exciting. Catfish, couldn't think of that name. Words are hard.
And okay, what is in this spot that I didn't notice? Oh, just a shop, yeah. Nothing important. And now dataplet has access to the back of Skullwoods. Where, in this case, assuming a successful Mothula kill, dataplet will have half magic. Now, I have to ask chat again, did either runner check the Hype Cave entrance yet? Because that's one of the only spots left. Entrance-wise. Regarding other spots... Okay, Lord Xenu is also helping with tracking stuff. Thank you. So, the other spots that we can fully check out, by the way, Ether Tablet and Desert Palace. Or rather, the Desert Palace entrance.
I don't think we can get to Ether Tablet right now. We don't have the mirror or the hammer, and I didn't see a connector that took us out of Hera.
That was the old man connector.
Oh,
The
interesting.
Death Mountain ascent took us to the Hera entrance.
Oh, that's nice. I missed that one.
I made sure to keep up with it. Which means it's entirely possible the mirror or hammer could be up there. And a question from chat, where is the Death Mountain Ascent entrance? Light World Shopping Mall. And we still don't have a single Light World map yet. But then again, we've also collected rewards from Eastern and Desert, so not a big deal. And for reference, there was no orphaned entrance in the Light World Shopping Mall. The only good ones were the open one and the bombable one. Is Barnage reading my mind? Are we actually going to go up to Ether Tablet now?
He's running out of options.
Oh my. Yep. We're actually going up and we are going to check out Ether Tablet. Book is already equipped. And, dataplet. Oh, okay. For a moment I thought dataplet was going to do the same thing. Excuse me. Alright, Ether Tablet check. What do we have here? Bombos! That may hopefully guide Barnage back over to Ice Palace. But no, Barnage wants to head to Hera and check out that basement. I mean, to be fair, Cater, not a lot of runners like Ice Palace. Jinxie, I'm sorry that our two runners don't want to have a big brain freeze and body freeze right now.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the runner that makes that play first is going to be pretty happy.
Lord Xenu, I missed that page in the contract. Oh my. Dataplet is now going to head to Ether Tablet to get Bombos. And Hera Basement only has a piece of heart. Oh my gosh. Is Ice Palace seriously the play? Also, I forgot where... oh, yeah, Hookshot Cave took us to Dark Mirror Ledge, which... Wait. We never explored all of Paradox's entrances, did we?
I think we got 2. But
Yeah.
no, because it took us out of Ganon's tower. So Dataplet was locked out.
You're right. So there's still one Paradox connector left, and that may take us to the Misery Mire entrance, and in the meantime, check in the eastern part of Desert. We have a map. 20 rupees, but we still have a big chest available.
I thought Barnage got the big chest already. I could be wrong, though.
Barnage had taken out Landmos. Dataplet is about to. We know the Torch has the flute, but I don't recall any runner checking the big chest in Desert yet. Well, apparently Barnage did, or Barnage is forgetting. Nope, Barnage is heading back. And inside that big chest is a whole heart container. Not what we're looking for. Now, I get this decision to go to desert. It comes before Ice Palace based off of the southern routing. But note where dataplet is. Dataplet grooving to the music, apparently. But no, dataplet is also heading to desert. We're actually going to have a high five in Desert Palace here. Maybe. And yeah, Barnage is heading back to Southern CAC. Is this going to be it? Is this finally the dive into Ice Palace that everyone has wanted? Yes.
Oh, thank God. I didn't want to say anything for fear of jinxing it again.
At the 1 hour, 50-minute mark, Maximum Barnage has finally entered, oh gosh, it's cold, mode.
Watch, I'll be, like, completely wrong, and I've been begging them to go to ice, and there's nothing here.
Alright, Chad is hoping for first chest goodness. Here we are, first chest is the cape!
Which,
And
that doesn't really do... That takes us to the dark world, but that's nothing...
Yeah, by logic.
Yet. Yeah.
Which fixes a few things, but not exactly what we're after. We have to go farther in. But look at dataplet just a minute later. No, heading out! Get back in there! You have full magic!
He hasn't checked Hookshot Cave yet, so I'm okay with this check as long as he goes back.
Okay, that's fair. And Recedador, I have not seen either runner enter Hype Cave entrance.
I have not either.
Which means it's also possible that Hype Cave entrance has something. Okay, dataplet is now properly in Ice Palace. It took this long, but we're going to find out whether it was worth the journey.
I feel it is. I believe it.
Well, we're running out of checks. And we are down to 2 more already. Remember, the big chest doesn't need to be investigated. So that means we are down to Freezor Room and Iced Tea.
Oh, it's gonna be somewhere gross like iced tea, like that you have to go through the whole stinking thing to get to it.
Well, we're about to find out. If the Iced Tea Room does not have what we need, then that leaves Desert Palace entrance, Hype Cave entrance, or something else we're overlooking entirely.
Oh, I forgot about desert entrance being open now.
Big chest is pointless. A hint revealed that it had nothing important.
It can't be useless. IP can't be useless. This has to be something.
Well, for my sake, I'm going to hope Turtle Rock Big Key.
Oh my gosh!
10
How
arrows?
did it not have anything?
Folks, I think we either have to go... Okay, let me explain the situation to my knowledge. Desert Palace entrance. Third exit to Paradox. Hype Cave entrance. One of those three has to give us something.
I am at a loss. I have no idea where anything could be at this point.
Fry we did Ice Palace because we are last locationing something. GT has been covered to the best of our runners' abilities. Left side is the only play they can make as soon as they get the hammer. And they don't have the big key either. The big key is on an island, which is either Lake Hylia Island or the Death Mountain Island. Second exit to Hookshot Cave itself was checked, which leads to Paradox, but we haven't seen all the Paradox entrances yet. Desert Palace entrance is the Kuko Shack. This may have something. Small key to Turtle Rock. No, that's not what we need. We need the pod small keys right now.
Okay, so let's talk this out for a second. We need to check the back of that Paradox Cave, and we need to check the Hype Cave entrance. Like, at this point, I mean, we are so far out of logic, I don't even know how to get back into logic at this point.
One of those checks has to give us what we need.
Yeah, because even that the book is out of logic at this point, is it not? Well, no, because I guess we would have the cave. Would that logically? No, because our hook shot is still. I don't know. I don't know.
Cape and flippers would get us there. However, the cane is out of logic.
Correct.
Now, dataplet is going through Hookshot Cave. Hype Cave is in logic, yes. But so is one more connector.
Oh, good. Okay, dataplet is checking.
Exactly.
These connectors. Good, good,
This
good.
is good.
Okay.
We are also missing one connector to take us to... good, dataplet. Don't get trapped outside of GT.
Yeah, I was just gonna say no.
We're still missing a connector out to the Misery Mire area, Haunted Wasteland. No! It's not Paradox! We got zonked! We got whammied! We got bankrupt! Ugh. Just... why? This is... just... oh my...
Yeah, Recitador, I think you're right. It has to be that entrance. I mean, I know I said that about Ice Palace, but at this point, oh my goodness.
That's the only entrance I don't... that's the only square that's green on my list right now. So, Cubs, don't be too mad at Shadow Magi. This is all on the runner's end. They are the ones that kind of forgot to check Hype Cave. Though admittedly, this is kind of an interesting way to celebrate this seed. So this also means I think the remaining connector is the Sahasrara Townhome connector, aka the Elder connector. And sorry, Ak, as much as we meme around here, that command is not here. And now dataplet is going to get the green pendant in the end. Oh my goodness. Chat, I am going to ask a favor from you. Once we get into Hype Cave, and once we see that it is something, even if it's just a small key to pod, I want to see the biggest item here hype out of you. Because, oh, Barnage never went through Paradox, but in this case, it's not going to help as much as we had thought. When Paradox Cave proves to not be as useful as you would think, I mean... Yes, I want to say this is where the small key to Turtle Rock is, but... we don't need that right now. Oh no, Barnage is out of bombs. And I don't remember if there are bombs in this. So... oh, okay, there are bombs, so... at least Barnage is able to full clear Paradox, but at the same time... okay, I was right, small key to Turtle Rock was there. Oh my goodness.
So I'm trying to look at dataplet's tracker, but unfortunately both of them are on the light world, so I can't see if he's just accidentally marked off the dark world. Hype cave entrance.
I cannot tell you that yet. We kinda have to wait for dataplet to go into the dark world again. And, oh no, Barnage is now locked out. So, when will our runners end up in Hype Cave? The Hype Cave entrance. That's what this comes down to! So, as progression at this point is tied to hammer, boots, mirror, shovel, mushroom, Tower of Hera big key, or Turtle Rock big key, or Ganon's Tower big key. And again, we already suspect where the Ganon's Tower big key is. And here's the thing, Ag, we suspect at least I suspect there's something on the pedestal. Oh, right, Skullwood's big key, because we haven't seen that big chest yet. But here's the problem. We need the Turtle Rock big key in order for this to be a possible pedestal play. If Hype Cave brings us the Turtle Rock big key, then pedestal is in play. Admittedly, so is the big chested Turtle Rock, and we have access to that because we are able to get back up to Spectacle Rock. Remember, we have magic... Alright, Recedador, you've been helping with our logic a lot. Would the magic cape to Hype Cave be within logic? Because Magic Cape allows us to go through Bumper Cave from Left Snitch House to Bomb Shop. There's our progression, folks. There was another connector, yes, but that required the lantern. Because that was Light World 5 through Death Mountain and Descent to take us to Swamp Palace. And since Lantern's out of logic, we technically can't use the save warp, though technically we could have also used Desert Palace. Because Desert Palace took us from south of Kakariko to Bumper Cave top, and we could have headed around that way. So we had two different places to get to Hype Cave.
This might be it.
It is.
Oh, thank God.
Alright, what type of hype are we receiving in Hype Cave? Mire Shed. Makes sense. 2 checks here. Mirror hype! And dataplet is stunned. But here's the thing. This doesn't help dungeon-wise. This just gives us more entrances to check. What about the other chest? Pod key, that's useful. So
now Cave 45 entrance.
many
And we also have that connector up on top of Dark Death Mountain.
We have many places we can check right now. First things first. Is this the GT Big Key on the island? Yes, it is. That gives us even more checks. So let me put this into perspective right now. We could head into Ganon's Tower right now. Get 4 items up to the rooftops. A 5th through the pyramid. And I think dataplet is doing just that. Regarding other locations, we have a number of entrances and items we can check right now. And I'm going to go through them as dataplet approaches the gauntlet. We can go to Cave 45, which I call the VT Cave. We can do Bombo's Tablet now. We can check left side race game entrance. We can head back to the Bumper Cave through Desert and Mirror to check the Death Mountain Descent exit. We can go to Graveyard Ledge. We now have access to the Hookshot Cave exit because of Desert Palace at the front. We have access to, as well, the top of Paradox. We have access to Mimic Cave.
That's the connector Barnage needs to take him over to the bomb shop to get to the Mire Shed.
Yes, and the only other entrances left are the top and bottom of the Mountain Ferry connector. Whew, that's a lot.
And don't forget, Barnage is playing without a tracker because his mouse broke right before the race started.
And right now, that hardware handicap is coming to bite him right now. And here's the Barnage is right now going through every single entrance again. Again, can't blame him at all. But unfortunately, the one entrance he needs is the one that he genuinely never checked. But hold on. Barnage is in the Lost Woods. We may get a pedestal check at the same time. And we are, so chat, get your pedestal hype in chat. We are going to confirm once and for all if we need the pedestal today. And the survey says... Boo! I am not satisfied with the pedestal today. And I was actually hoping for it too. Sorry, Barnage. You don't have the hammer. But you do have a cape. You need to go back to Bumper Cave. That's your quickest path. I don't think he realizes. Ooh, and the GT laser bridge causing problems for dataplet. We do not want to see a death at this point. It takes a few minutes to get up this tower. I mean, this is what happens with these matches at times. Especially, well, when you're dealing with external challenges. Oh, dataplet, don't scare me so close to those stairs. We don't want to despawn the tower sprites. Alright. Small key to ice. Blue boomerang. Consolation chest is up next. There's the 5th pod key. Because that's the 5th one, we were expected to come up here in order to full clear pod. The logic expected us up here just for that by itself. But what does Moldorm's last possessions have today?
There's the hammer.
And dataplet is gone.
Wow. That, ooh, probably would have finished it.
I would have finished it too at this point. Because we were so close to the top. Let me put this into perspective. We need to finish 3 dungeons now. Tower of Hera, Swamp Palace, Ice Palace. With that hammer, we can finish the latter 2.
Yeah, but we don't have that Hera big key.
But that's the only thing we're missing. So, mods, if you can open up a bet, please. It's time to figure out where the Tower of Hera big key is located.
Yeah, he did skip that. That's interesting. He also decided not to go and check that left side of Ganon's tower as well. He's just going after crystals.
I mean, I get this decision as well. Maybe dataplet is hoping to just find what's necessary through the crystal dungeons. But this is dangerous. Because it's entirely possible Pyramid of Power had something. So, okay, while we don't have the betting command working right now, Chad, please speculate where the big key to Tower of Hera is in the meantime. If I have to do an unofficial shout-out today, I will.
Barnage might have figured it out. He might have checked that VOD and figured out he never checked.
Alright.
He has his bombs out.
And dataplet is not even bothering with left side right now. And yes, no!
No! Barnage! What?
What was that about? You had the bombs! Why did you not go in?
What just happened?
I don't know!
He had the bombs out! Oh my god.
Also, you can now place your bets officially regarding the Tower of Hera Big Key. Oh my. Oh my. I mean... I admit, the few times I have played Link to the Past on stream, I've made some questionable calls myself. But I think this tops that. If we have an interview with Barnage, we're going to have to ask about that.
Yeah, I am at a loss. Wow. I don't even know what to think at this point.
Cater, we have not seen the harmless hallway yet. Argus does not have it, but Barnage is taking the Death Mountain Descent connector over back to Hype Cave. Barnage, please equip your bombs. I said equip your bombs! And thank you. Get that mirror. And in the meantime, dataplet is now going into left side GT. And Barnage is frustrated.
It's still pretty awesome that he figured it out, given he has no tracker and he's used to a tracker. There's our Titans.
Wow, Titans after Hammer. Especially in this seed? Now, again, I don't blame Barnage's decision to check the other caves first. But in this case, entrance to Super Bunny is not going to help.
We are going to get that entrance by the race game to check, though, too. And that could be our connector to Dark Misery Mire.
That
We
is
still
true.
haven't found that yet.
That is true. Yeah, flute. No, this may very well be a bootless, fluteless seed.
Nope.
Never mind.
Not today. I feel like we are back in logic, though, now.
And no, left side race is a fairy. Remaining chests here. Shovel. There's the other single green rupee. Big key. Tower of Hera in GT. We were expected to effectively triple dip.
Wow, and that's go mode for dataplet.
Oh my goodness. Top right rando room was where the big key was, Shadow Magi, and I do think we actually had an exact guess on it. And yes, that was an exact guess. Top right rando room. Congratulations, Big J's.
Hey. There's our last key to pod. And our bombable hut entrance.
Which also makes me realize I never saw what the item was on top of Death Mountain Island, but oh, storyteller right there. That's not gonna help dataplet anymore, but it'll certainly help Barnage, maybe. I don't know. But yes, please follow our runners Maximum Barnage and dataplet, along with our trackers Nori, Nato, Bleeding Blue, and Cubs Rule, along with my commentary partner Jinxie Girl. They all deserve it.
Oh, don't forget my good buddy Wolfman 2000.
You are too kind. And to respond to my Pink Friday, if I didn't have to work tomorrow, I would consider that. I'm just sticking with water. I mean, I get why Barnage is making all these checks. I can't fault him. It's just unfortunate that GT was the play. Oh, man. For some, this seed could have probably been done within 2 hours. But we're going to have a 2:35 finish, I think. Maybe 2:30, depending. And yeah, that's exactly what I said, Big J's. Triple dip of GT, effectively. And Ganon was at the blacksmith, so we needed the hammer for that as well. And with that, we have our second pyramid crystal. We don't need to go to the pyramid here. And, oh, you're right, Recitador, that quad dip because of the Moon Pearl. We had to enter once for Moon Pearl, a second time for Flippers, a third time for hammer, and effectively a fourth time with the hammer to get the Hera big key. I mean, technically, you are right, Grand Anti-Bob. It could have been done twice, but it would have been very ugly to do so. Death Mountain Descent exit is the dummy ice cave, as Dataplet is now in Ice Palace to rob it of its only proper reward of crystal. Wow. Are you still speechless regarding this whole thing, Jinxie?
I am. I was also pushing the wrong button on my push to talk, so.
I've done that too.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's just a little too late for maximum Barnage, unfortunately. Which is a shame. This was a really good seed. I can't believe both runners were trolled by the same entrance that they had access to for a significant amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, again, quad dip of Ganon's tower, one of which was a climb. Well, that was the seed's fault. Missing Hype Cave, that's all on the runners.
Yeah, I can't believe both of them missed it. That is insane.
And logic-wise, we never needed the boots or the Titan's mitts. So logically, this is a bootless seed. It's just we're taking advantage of it, and yeah, Barnage is going for Bombos now. We know it doesn't have anything important. Just the map of Hera. Oh, but Barnage still doesn't want to go. Wait. Barnage has the mirror equipped. Are we going to see a GT dive at this point?
Yeah, I mean, he's checked everything else. I don't see what else he can do.
Oh no, going to Ice Palace Island.
Well, this is actually a good thing, because that is his Ganon's Tower big key.
Oh yeah.
He definitely needs to do this. That's why he didn't go to GT yet.
You're right. Okay, we're good right now. However, Dataplet has 6 of the 7 crystals. Ether on Cold Stare, not that that matters. So yeah, the mirror was required mainly for that big key to GT. The one that we saw at the beginning of the game, and the one that was hinted to us. But right now, Dataplet is going to go through Desert and use that with Hammer to get to Hera.
I feel like it might have been quicker for him just to grab the flute. Oh, maybe not.
No, in this case, I think Desert was the right play to make.
Yeah, I was forgetting that's where that entrance came out.
Yeah. That's why I try to mark the entrances as we find them. It was a little hectic at parts, but came through in the end.
Yeah, maximum Barnage finally on the right path. Hopefully he just goes right back in and dips GT.
Left side, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, technically, our runners are missing one thing, but again, They've had enough with the logic, and so they're basically saying, see ya! We don't know where the silver arrows are, but I think dataplet will be fine with tempered silverless. Now, of course, if it ends up that, well, I was gonna say if it was right there, that would have, been kind of funny.
I don't think we ever found the potion shop either.
You're right, we haven't. We haven't found Potion Shop, we haven't found Sick Kid.
Or Sahashala.
Or Sahasrala. And, something's telling me we're not going to. And with that, Moldorm is down with the final bottle.
Oh, Varnish down to 1 heart and no bottles. Just a green potion.
If he can keep that magic alive enough, he'll be able to turn the anti-fairy into a fairy, leave through the right, enter again, and then keep the recharge going. But no, going left immediately, not going to fill up. So yeah, after all this chaos, dataplet has the 7 crystals needed to take on Mandra Ganon, according to the instruction manual, the English one anyway. And so it is finally time to learn of Ganon's words of wisdom. So, what are they for tonight? Oh, burrito talk. We already have chat talking about needing something to drink. I guess some food would also help, so it's appropriate. And chat is correct. Once we start the 4th phase, we will be told where those silvers were. And then I can hopefully tell you exactly where that is on the map, though that's not guaranteed. The silvers are underground. That means... what?
Under the shovel.
Oh! We had logical access to it! We could have dug it up! In this case, Maverick, because we saw the digging game already, it has to be the dig spot in the light world where the flute normally is. So we had logical access to it, but because we got the shovel and the Tower of Hera big key at the same time, in this case, it made perfect sense for dataplet to not even bother with it. And with... Go ahead.
It's your GG's in chat for dataplet, who has finished in first place with a time of 2 hours, 32 minutes, and 56 seconds.
The bridge of destiny has formally been crossed. Whew! And dataplet will eventually join us for an interview, as Barnage is making what the play that I would have made, finish off Aga 2. And with that, Aga 2 is taken out. So then what was that item inside of the Lost Woods Pyramid hideout? A stronger shield. And I think Barnage is just confused. But what he doesn't realize is that he needs to head back into GT. If he were to explore using the hammer now, he would gain access to Hammerpeg Cave, he would gain access to Smith Chain and to Purple Chest, the Hammer Hut in Village of Outcasts, and right now it's hard to say whether Barnage is actually forfeit or not. We did mention earlier that, some minor hardware mouse trouble, so it's entirely possible that this may be a... Nope, we saw movement. We're good. But yeah. It's... just what a seed. So, dataplet, welcome to, Twitch chat. This came down to Hype Cave. And I don't know if that could be said any better than that.
And get your GGs in the chat for Maximum Barnage, who has fought through so many technical difficulties to put on this race with you and dataplet. They definitely both did a fantastic job. So be sure to show them some love, give them some support, and tell them just how much you enjoyed watching them race.
Indeed. Please follow Maximum Barnage and dataplet. Don't forget Jinxie Girl or Norinato, Bleeding Blue, or Cubs Rule. And yeah, we do have confirmation because of the mouse situation. It's not really going to be easy for an interview to take place right now with Maximum Barnage. We're at least going to... We at least have confirmation that dataplet will hopefully join us in the booth here for a bit. Nope. dataplet is just sticking with the chat here, so... Just, wow. This seed. You know what? Let's do something kind of non-traditional here. Trackers and Shadow, why don't you unmute yourselves and tell us what you thought this seed was, and how you felt it went. And in the meantime, Jinxie, what were your thoughts on this one?
Well, it was definitely a seed. I think that it kind of evened out the race a little bit more, since both runners forgot that Hype Cave entrance for so long. It definitely made it a race there at the end. Unfortunately, Barnage made some extra checks, which definitely wasn't the wrong play. We were still missing a significant amount of items. It's really easy to sit back as the commentator and kind of say, "Oh, well, they should have did this, they should have did that," because when you're in the moment, it's a lot harder to think straight, and it just takes one mismark to completely ruin your entire seed. And in Barnage's case, it was losing that tracker completely. I think that really held him back. I mean, both are phenomenal runners. It was a great, great race. And I just can't believe that we were required to go in a GT 4 times.
And let's not forget about the other logic, or lack thereof, how to even get to where we did. Because we needed Magic Cape or Desert Palace Connector and the Moon Pearl in order to eventually make our way to Hype Cave for the mirror, to eventually get the lantern and everything else that we had for so long. It was just whew.
Yeah, that was definitely something. And what I guess our logic was a lot easier to figure out, given that we did have those connectors that took us kind of to the dark world in that area. But shoulda, coulda, woulda at this point. It all comes down to chance when you play cross keys, I think.
Indeed, but sometimes, the way this ended up, it's just how it works at times. So with that, we're going to at least cover some some minor announcements. So with Dataplet's win, he will be going up against Chex Human at some point next week, where hopefully it will be a much simpler seed. Of course, we say hopefully, but who knows what's going to actually happen. Tomorrow, we at least have one cross-key matchup that we are hoping to put on the schedule at around 8 p.m. Eastern. It will be SAGTG versus Pika Pals, another round 3 losers bracket match. We also have planned, and I know I'm going to misread the times here. Oh, no, that's the only other thing. Never mind, I misread the calendar. But regardless, if you want to know what's actually going on with the calendar, please make sure to follow the Zelda Speedruns calendar, and don't forget to follow twitch.tv/Zelda Speedruns, Zelda Speedruns 2, and Zelda Speedruns _3. And again, please follow Maximum Barnage and Dataplet, because they went through hell. They should not have to go through hell. And Norinato is also correct. If you would like to help out with this tournament or any other event that is run on Zelda Speedruns, please join our Discords. We could certainly use a few extra hands, because, goodness, I think this match is effectively taking me out for 3 days.
Yeah, that was definitely something. But as always, thank you to our viewers that hang out with us, help us, with items that we might have missed or locations. It's always great to have an interactive chat. And, it's really fun. It makes it easier to commentate when you have such a great crew with you, and such an involved community. So as always, thanks again for being so supportive, and be sure to show some love to Trez and to Cubs Rule and all of our other, admins, restreamers, trackers, commentators, racers, just everyone in the community. It's a very nice place to be. So if you are feeling like you want to volunteer, feel free to message any one of us so we can give you the details on how to get involved. And as always, please continue to support your local gamers as well as your local stations. And it has been a pleasure as always. Thank you.
For everyone here, this is Wolfman 2000. Have a good night, and watch out for Hype Cave. I can't believe I actually had to say that this time. Good night!